friends, welcome to Get Your Play Online's 3 p.m. Tuesday activity. My name is Kate and today we are doing some science experiments. So hi everyone, I'm going to wait and make sure it's working. I think it is. Okay, so again, welcome to Get Your Play Online's 3 p.m. Tuesday activity. Today we have some super fun stuff for you and it is science themed. So today we are creating some science experiments that are going to be so fun. And your two main ingredients today are vinegar and baking soda. So these are your best friends when doing some fun science experiments. So we're going to need those. I also have a paper plate here. You can use a paper or plastic plate. You can also use a glass plate, whatever you need to use. And then we have a spoon, a balloon, that rhymed, and then I have a funnel, but you don't really need this. And then a water bottle. You can also use a plastic cup, but for one experiment, I'm gonna use this water bottle. And then I have some Kool-Aid here. So we are gonna do 3 different fun experiments today. I'm so excited. So let's get started with the first experiment. So for our first experiment, we are going to get our water bottle, our balloon, and our science best friends, our baking soda and our vinegar. So the first thing we need to do is dump out your water bottle so there's nothing in it. I still have a couple drops of water in there. So get all the water out and make sure it's clear so you can see what's happening inside of it. So you're gonna get your balloon too, and then have your baking soda and your vinegar. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is get our balloon and we're gonna fill this with baking soda. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my funnel inside my balloon like this so I can funnel it all in without spilling it. Also, you can have someone hold open your balloon like this and dump it in and use a spoon. That might take 2 people though. So I'm gonna use my funnel just because it's just me today. And I'm gonna put it in and then I'm gonna get my baking soda and I'm going to dump in the funnel. So that way it looks like this. You have baking soda in the bottom. And then we're gonna set that, well first take it out. Oh, we might have a couple little dust of baking soda still in your funnel, but that is okay. Now we're gonna set this to the side, make sure none spills out. And we're gonna take our water bottle and we're gonna fill our water bottle with vinegar. So I'm gonna use my funnel again, but if you don't have a funnel, that's okay. You can just pour it in. Just make sure, you can see I have my towel under here so I don't spill anything on the table. Make sure you have your towel. So I'm gonna pour my vinegar in. Oh, gotta get my funnel. There we go. And pour my vinegar in. And now you don't need too much, but I'd say fill it up a little less than halfway. So I'm gonna add that much. And again, make sure, put your cap on your vinegar just in case you bump it. Put that to the side, and now you can take your funnel out, and you're gonna come back to your balloon. So I'm gonna get a little closer for this one. We are gonna put the balloon to the side, and we wanna wrap the balloon around the water bottle, just like that. I'll do it. Uh-oh, that would've been bad. I'll do it one more time. Wrap the balloon around the water bottle. So it's gonna look like this. And don't let it dump in yet. Make sure it's all the way rolled down on to your water bottle. And then you're going to take it and you're gonna dump it in. And what's gonna happen is the baking soda is gonna meet with the vinegar and they're gonna come together for a chemical reaction and they're gonna blow up the balloon. So you don't even have to blow into the balloon. It's gonna blow up all on its own. So again, make sure you have your towel down because it might spill a tiny bit. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. So now you can hold it up. And you can see what's happening right here. Look at all those bubbles. You can see the balloon's getting really big. Now it might take a couple seconds. There we go. So now you can see it's still bubbling. So just doing that, blow up the balloon. And look how cool it is. So now that we have that, you can impress your family and your friends with that trick because it's super duper easy, right? Okay. Now that we have that trick, that is our first trick out of our 3 tricks that we're doing. So the balloon's gonna stay blown up for a little bit, and you can leave it on too, so it'll stay. And you can see the bubbles are going down. So at first it kind of exploded, and now the bubbles are going down. So we'll put that to the side and move on to our next activity. So you said it's still blown up. Okay. So our next activity, we need our plate. So I have my paper plate right here. I'm going to set that down. We need our baking soda and our vinegar friend and also our Kool-Aid. So the first thing we want to do is set your plate down flat. Again, make sure your towel's under here. And we want to take our Kool-Aid and we want to sprinkle it all over the plate. So I'm going to tilt you guys down so you can see. So we want to, I have powder Kool-Aid. Looks like that. I think it's fruit punch flavored. But also, if you don't have Kool-Aid, you can use Crystal Light, the little packets that you put in your water, or any like flavored water thing. So it has to be a powder though. So it has to look like this. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure you're doing this over your plate so it all spills on the plate. And you're going to want to sprinkle it all on. So it kind of makes, so it kind of looks like sand. And just do, and sprinkle it all over. So, looks like this. Even if you want, before you do the activity, or before you pour the stuff on, you can write your name in the sand. So I'm gonna write Kate. You can shake it out so it's even. So you can do a lot of fun stuff with this. But once you have it all down, put a little bit over here, we go on to the next part. So the next part is when we get our baking soda. And we want to put the baking soda on the Kool-Aid. So now I just did the fingerprint in it. Keep it a little more. We want to put the baking soda all over the Kool-Aid like a blanket. So you guys can watch. Sprinkle it over. Now I'm going to use my spoon and I'm going to spread out the baking soda on top of Kool-Aid. Just like that. So it kind of looks like this. So you see more baking soda than you do Kool-Aid. You can kind of spread it out all over the plate. And now the next thing you want to do, guys, is dump your vinegar on top of the plate. And it is going to smell so good. So make sure you kind of have it close to you and make sure you take a deep breath so you can smell how good it smells. So I'm going to do it so you guys can watch. We're going to dump our vinegar on. And see, it's kind of bubbling. Now guys, take a deep breath because it smells so good. And you can see it kind of looks like lava. And you can hear it bubbling and fizzing. Look how cool that is. And see parts where you have a little bit more baking soda, you can tilt it over. Now this is not Kool-Aid you want to drink because we poured vinegar on it, so that would be probably pretty yucky, right? And also, if you guys have different color Kool-Aid, yours might be blue or purple depending on the flavor, but mine is red because it is fruit punch flavored. Okay, so now that it's stopped bubbling, if you want, you can add more baking soda, and then I'll probably add a bigger reaction, so you can keep doing it. But now that this one's all done, we're going to move on to our third activity. So we're going to put this over here. And guys, I just want to show you. Ooh, I'm going to move it over. There we go. Our balloon is still blown up from our first activity. It's not going down. How cool is that? So keep it on the side and you can watch. There we go. Okay, so for our next activity, I'm actually going to bring out, since I'm not doing this over a sink, you guys probably want to do it over a sink, but since I don't have my sink right here with me, I'm going to take this cake pan so it doesn't explode all over my table. Okay, so for this activity, we're going to take our plastic cup. So I just have this one right here. It usually works best with plastic, but if you don't have that, you can also use a paper cup, and that's okay. And then I'm going to take my baking soda and my vinegar and my Kool-Aid. So we are going to make a volcano inside this pan, which is going to be so cool, and I'm so excited. So I have my mark on my cup. Oop, can you see that? See the brown mark right there? And you want it just to fill it with baking soda a little bit less than halfway. So when you're using this, you're just going to pour it in. Keep pouring, keep pouring, keep pouring. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get it out. Okay, now you're going to shake, 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 because that gets it to be even at the bottom, so there's no bumps. So when you shake, 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 you can see that we filled it up pretty. I did a little bit more than I should have, but that's okay, because that'll make it a bigger reaction. So we put it down right here, and now we are going to take some Kool-Aid. We're going to get our spoon, take some Kool-Aid, about like this much, and we're going to sprinkle it all over the top. Now this, so I like to mix it just a little bit so the Kool-Aid gets in. Okay. So now we do our shake, shake, shake again. So it's all even. There we go. Okay. Now, this part, make sure you are doing this in a sink, or if you're with me, a glass container, because we do not want to spill on the table or the floor, because this one gets a pretty big explosion. So it's kind of like, remember how the balloon, how all the bubbles came? It's like that, but we don't have a balloon to catch all the mess. So make sure you're doing it inside something or inside your sink. Okay, so we have, let's go back. We did our baking soda. We filled it up a little bit less than halfway in our plastic cup. We added some Kool-Aid so we can see some color. We'll add a little more at the top to make sure we get a lot of color. There we go. And now we have our vinegar. So our vinegar is going to go directly on top of this. So we shake, shake, shake. And if I have a towel underneath too, just to make sure if it spills a little bit too much. So we're going to take our vinegar and we are going to start dumping it in. So you guys can see it's like a volcano erupting. Okay, it's calming down. You can see it's still fizzing at the bottom right here. And it makes a very pretty pink color. So it is like a volcano because the lava comes out red. But, let's see if we can, there we go. So I like to mix it. Sometimes the baking soda gets stuck in the bottom. There we go. We can add a little bit more. There we go. So third time. It explodes all over again because sometimes the baking soda likes to hide beneath. Now guys, that is our third experiment. So I want to hear which one was your favorite. Make sure you guys comment which experiment was your favorite. Now we're going to move this one out of the way and let's go back and talk about each experiment just so we remember how to do them. So if you look, our first experiment, the balloon has not gone down yet, which is so cool. And it's still kind of bubbling in the bottom if you guys can see. Yeah, you can see, which is so cool. So remember with this one, we used our funnel and we put baking soda, ooh, I'm covering my face, baking soda inside the balloon. And then we put it to the side, making sure no baking soda spilled out. And we put our vinegar inside our water bottle. Then you can see right here, we wrapped the balloon right around the lid where you would take a sip out. And then we took it and we flipped it in and it blew up the balloon just like this, which is so cool. Then for our next experiment, remember that was our smell experiment, and we took, oh, bring it back over here. We took our red Kool-Aid and we laid it down like a blanket over the plate. And then we took our baking soda and we poured it right on top and we kind of mixed it in. And then on top of that, we poured our vinegar and it bubbled, bubbled, bubbled. And then we got to smell the Kool-Aid, which was so yummy. It smelled so good. But remember, we don't drink it because we poured vinegar and that might taste pretty gross. And then for our last experiment, we did our volcano. And remember, we talked about putting something down like a towel, and we did it inside a sink or a glass cake container. And for this one, what we did was we got our plastic cup and we filled it a little less than halfway with our baking soda. And then we got our Kool-Aid. And remember, guys, you can use any flavor Kool-Aid. So if you want a blue volcano, you can use I think it's blueberry flavor. If you want purple volcano, you can use grape. You don't have to use the red. And we poured it in, and then we took our vinegar after we set it inside something, and we poured our vinegar in, and then, oh, see, even that a little bit made a bubble. We can use the rest of our vinegar because we still have some left. There's our fourth time. And see, it's still bubbling. And if you do it inside something like this, it's so easy because you can just go and dump it out, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in the sink and I'm gonna dump it out. And I'm also gonna dump out my smell experiment. And for this one, the balloon is still blown up. So you can just take the balloon off, and if you want, you can take it off and tie it and have your fun balloon that you didn't even have to blow up. You didn't have to do anything, which is so nice. So I want to see all your guys' science experiments. Make sure you tag us, Get Your Play online. We want to see all the experiments that you guys do, and make sure to tell us which one is your favorite. And if you guys come up with your own baking soda and vinegar experiment, make sure you tag us because we would love to see. Thank you guys so much for being here. It was so much fun. Happy Tuesday. It's pretty rainy where I am. I hope it's sunny where you are. But thank you guys again for being here. So happy Tuesday. Bye.